Hello, I was going to make a quick video about this, but I decided perhaps it should be discussed in a little more depth. So I'm going to return to the video I made about the arrest of Martin Frost, except this time I'm not going to be poking fun at the police, but rather at the courts. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. So the primary reason for making this video is to tell you about the Gofundme for Martin Frost. And if you're not quite up to speed on this, the reason he needs a Gofundme is when he was arrested, the police, full well knowing the effect that it would have, published both his name and his address. And so he can't go back to the place where he used to live because, in effect, the police put a target on his forehead and they must have known what they were doing, of course. If we look at the police who arrested Mr. Frost, they are from the armed police unit. I mean, this is the sort of police presence you use for armed terrorists or people with suspicious backpacks, and one of those police officers has a mask over his face, and I don't see any numbers there either. The whole situation of getting a man arrested in such a way is unspeakably bad. And I don't often find myself at a loss for words. So, I'm going to read you, when I find it, sorry about that, I lost the page. So this is what is reported a day or so after the incident. Officers charge man after incident at Glade of Light Memorial. This is the Greater Manchester Police page. The Glade of Light Memorial, which is one of those don't look back in anger things that somebody thought would mollify the public, was constructed and dedicated after 22 people were killed by an Islamist fanatic who blew himself up at a concert where there were mostly little girls and their indulgent parents and aunts and people like that. As I have said before, one of those aunts was a friend of mine who had her arm and collarbone shattered. She's a horsewoman, made her living training and looking after horses, and of course, well, all that had to stop when she couldn't use her right arm. Martin Frost from Trafford has been charged with causing racially and religiously aggravated intentional harassment, alarm or distress. He's been remanded in custody ahead of an appearance at Manchester Magistrates Court today, Monday the 3rd of February. The charge comes after we received reports of racially aggravated public order offence following an incident in the city centre at the Glade of Light Memorial on Saturday, the 1st of February. So, the police were actually waiting there while Mr. Frost was actually burning the Koran. A fellow called Iqbal, a second family name of Iqbal, was on the phone, and as Mr. Frost walked away from his demonstration, there were the armed police officers waiting for him. And then he was hauled off to court, and Judge Margaret McCormack said to Mr. Frost, "The Koran is a sacred book to Muslims, and treating it as you did is going to cause extreme distress." Yeah, it's rude. But you have to be able to withstand that sort of rudeness if you're going to live in our society. And talking about our society, Miss McCormack then continues. This is a tolerant country, she says, but we just do not tolerate this behaviour. Right, we have this situation. This is a tolerant country. But, and then you might as well take that and just scrub that. We should tolerate this behaviour. There is absolutely no reason not to tolerate it. It's freedom of expression. She bailed Frost on condition that he does not post anything further on social media, and that's why he can't say anything in public anymore. And what I am doing is telling you that he has a Gofundme account now. In my last video about this incident, I gave an address to which you could donate, but apparently that account has been blocked for some reason. So there was no way to donate to Mr. Frost, and now there is. And the GoFundMe is not only in the thumbnail, but it will be in the description. Following the incident, Assistant Chief Constable Stephanie Parker of Greater Manchester Police said, OK, what does she say? We understand the deep concern this will cause within some of our diverse communities. I shall translate that for you. She said, a lot of Muslims don't like this, so we're going to snap to their commands. I don't think it's entirely a coincidence that the two officers, the armed officers who arrested Mr. Frost, were of a certain ethnicity. I don't think that's a coincidence. Let's teach him a lesson, should we? He insulted a Muslim, so now we're going to send two men who look like they're probably Muslims to arrest him. Yeah, probably Muslims and armed. I don't think that's a coincidence. The Assistant Chief Constable, Stephanie Parker, said, we made a swift arrest at the time. It was astonishing how quickly they were on the spot. Now, if you had your handbag stolen, assuming you had a handbag, or your bicycle, or your car, or your house had been broken into, you have to wait for that sort of thing. But you burn 2 or 3 pages of a Koran and the police are there on the spot as if by magic. We made a swift arrest and recognise the right... Hang on a minute. Do you see another but coming along? Right? I don't have to be a prophetess or a seer or even a horoscope reader to work that one out. We made a swift arrest and recognised the right people have for freedom of expression. But when this crosses into intimidation, it didn't cross into intimidation. He wasn't intimidating anyone. He was squatting there, kneeling there, standing there on his own with an implement for making fire. I don't remember whether it was matches or a cigarette lighter. And he burnt some leaves of a book. That's not intimidation. Crosses into intimidation to cause harm or distress. That is not even a logical sentence. You don't cause intimidation to cause harm or distress. You intimidate someone or you cause them harm or distress. This person here, Stephanie Parker, is confused about language because she's confused about what she is actually arresting this man for. She doesn't really know. She's just spewing out a word salad that sounds good. intimidation to cause harm or distress, we will always look to take action when it is reported to us. And again, look to take action. You're taking action. Look to take action means she is confused about what she's supposed to be looking at. Now, recently another person, Jamie Michael, was arrested on similar charges. He pleaded not guilty and ended up with a jury taking 17 minutes to free him. Poor confused Mr. Frost pleaded guilty because that's what his duty solicitor told him to do. Then the Free Speech Union came to his rescue and they've got him a good team, and that's marvellous. And they are also paying for, a few days in a hotel while he finds somewhere to live. But he needs money for that. So, yeah. Link in the description. Okay, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.